One. you. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. You're probably watching us on Pinterest because that's where we're at. We're at Pinterest, Instagram, everywhere else. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That young man out there is
Rick Levy in Southern California.
Southern California. He even speaks with a Southern California drawl.
Y'all.
Y'all. Rick and I have been beside ourselves. We have been surprised and beside ourselves with this tequila. This is called 13 Colonias, 13 colonies. It has nothing to do with our 13 original colonies in the United States. This is a representative of the 13 boroughs, I guess, is how I would translate that, of Mexico City. And if you've been with us for the Blanco and been with us for the Joven, which we flipped over, this is the Reposado.
It's really been an adventure so far.
Yeah,
and
it's been a.
Now we don't know where we're going to end up here with this Reposado.
Yeah, I looked at the color and I said, and I thought to myself, and I thought before we went on the air, and I said, we may as well hold this for last, because I don't know what kind of flavor profile we're going to get with this. We don't know any information. We don't know what they're aging their spirits in. Their Instagram is where we found them, and there's minimal information on Instagram. Their website, rather superficial.
It's an agave wrapped in an enigma and aged in a barrel.
Yeah. That's it. That's the copy, folks. So, we said, well, it's not the first time we try something without information, so we're just going to dissect it. So here we go. We're going to taste it, sample it, tell you what it's all about, and then we'll tell you what little we know about it. I'm going to use my Glencairn because I don't know what to expect.
I've got the Stasel Jarrito for tequila.
This is a wood knob and a white synthetic cork. So we're just going to pour it. It's got a pretty color. I don't know it in the bottle, and sometimes the labeling can be deceiving. In the bottle, it looked rather rich, a little darker. It's got a nice amber color to it. I guess that's the word I'm looking for, is amber. And let me wipe this
off. Light amber, dark straw, maybe somewhere in there.
Pale gold. Whatever descriptor.
Now we're just inventing stuff.
Lights your fire. Beautiful legs and tears. Look at that.
Yeah, we've been impressed with the legs and tears of all of them so far.
I'm going to have to reach out to the master distiller that I know that uses this distillery. It is a distillery, Casa Tequilera de Arandas. It's $14.99. It's a favorite of a couple of master distillers that I know of, and I'm not sure who's involved with this brand. There is minimal information. Right now, they are seeking importation. If Old Town Tequila doesn't have a bottle, nobody's got it. So again, we're just ahead of the curve, folks. Okay. So beautiful. It's delightful to look at. Beautiful legs and tears. It performs lovely. Now see, that's different. That's not the notes that we got in the Joven.
Now, the way I think I might be framing it in my head is that with the Joven, we had something that was definitely on the aged end, paired with the Blanco.
Right.
And the Blanco was very bright and fresh and lemon zest. And then, we had all those great aged barrel notes, and they came together. And so there was this huge contrast in the notes that were playing back and forth.
Yeah.
And this is like the contrast is inverted, because the Blanco has been aged a little bit more, and we're not mixing it with the aged end, so it's like it's going to be something kind of in the middle, but probably more muted.
Okay, I will buy that. the other thing is, I'm not getting the same sweet barrel notes from this one. I'm getting more whiskey notes. To me, this is more reminiscent of a whiskey barrel. Again, we don't know what they're aging their stuff in. I'm getting whiskey barrel notes. I'm getting,
And so it could be that the aged tequila that they used in the Joven was aged in different barrels.
Yeah, it could be an extra
We've,
añejo.
we've seen that with other wines where they're not using the same barrel, where they're using, in some they'll use the same barrels, just more time.
Right.
But in others, they'll use different barrels and different amounts of time.
Exactly. And so in essence, they come up with a line for everybody's palate. It's almost like
right.
We're sometimes, as we've gone on to do many times at Tequila Aficionado and Sipping Off the Cuff, we want to know what the natural progression of a Blanco from a particular brand is going to look like. But in many cases now, especially now, it's not a natural progression anymore. It's a completely different expression. They are really living up to the word expression. It's almost like, here's your sister, here's one for your grandfather, here's one for your brother-in-law, okay? And they're completely different. Even though it's under the same brand, it's the same juice that they start with, but it's almost like it's completely different for a different audience, okay? And I'm really missing the sweet notes from the Joven. I thought this was going to be, I'm thinking, well, this has got to be French oak, right? I'm not getting those notes. I'm not.
Right. Yeah, the aroma is kind of like, hailing back to like old school reposados, I think.
Yeah. But it's deeper. It's deeper. You and I have had añejos that were like this.
Right.
Right? So
yeah, it's not just the Blanco with the edges rounded off. There's
some depth. There's a depth to this reposado, which not only are we in a añejo shortage currently, if you were to believe, what you're reading out there. So what's happening is maybe you're becoming more creative with your reposados. I mean, Mijenta was that way. Eric and I did Mijenta, and it only comes in a Blanco and a reposado, but the reposado has so much depth that you don't need an añejo. It's almost to the point where, why bother? Because if you do it well enough, you're going to attract the oak heads who want a lot of wood on wood notes on their tequila.
Right.
Yeah, this is very reminiscent of a whiskey. Very sweet notes on it, vanilla, caramel. But there's a level of alcohol too that I'm getting. We just popped the corks on these, so.
And I think I can still maybe, I can still pick out the lemon zest from the Blanco.
Probably. I'm just letting mine open up a little bit. It's a little warm today, folks. So, room temp is a little higher than normal. But it's lovely. It's lovely to look at. The nose is beautiful. The nose on all three were really different. Let's dive in, man. I'm ready to rock and roll with this one.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
That palate's saying that you were right.
Yeah, but there's some good mouthfeel, good structure. Mm-hmm. And that has to be from the Blanco. Remember, you said that with the Blanco. Rick picked it out. He said it's a very single-faceted, not very complicated, as far as the aroma, but there was some substance, some substantial, great mouthfeel, body. It has a great body in the Blanco, and that has translated through all three.
I'm getting a little butterscotch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's buttery.
It's buttery. That's it. I don't know. We didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect. I am floored. All three of these.
Fantastic.
And you know what I love about it too is that not only does it not only do they play with a different expression for different different people, literally different expressions, like different drinks. Um, but each one presents the quality of the agave. You don't lose it even with this. The body, the mouthfeel, the structure and the body of the Blanco translates all the way through on all three. That's the consistency. That's the one consistent factor in all three of these expressions.
I'm getting that lip numbness you were talking about on the Blanco. Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
The finish is a bit, again, much more spice, cinnamon spice now, because of the Repo.
And drier like like you would expect from a whiskey barrel.
Yeah. And it's wow, I don't know which one of these I love more, because this Reposado's killer too, man.
I don't know. It's like your children. You don't need to choose, right?
Yeah.
You love them all differently.
It's like more than having more than one dog. I don't know. Each one of these has been just delightful, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, off camera before we started this, I was saying, like, it's like, well, that journey from the Blanco to the Joven was just so amazing. I'm afraid that I might end up, feeling like it's kind of anticlimactic to just go back to a Reposado. But, this is a lovely place to end up.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. Yeah, see, you need a GPS to find us, folks. So we did our palette GPS, and that's where we wound up. And I gotta say, I'm just gonna do it now, man. This is a Brand of Promise nominee. It has to in the Reposado category, but I want to know more. Instagram doesn't give us any information. If you've watched the other two videos, I mentioned that the Instagram picture and the caption don't match up. Okay, the information's all off. What they are doing though is they're promoting their expressions in cocktails. Or food pairing, and Rick and I kind of came to the conclusion that the Joven you don't pair with anything. You just leave it alone. Enjoy it. Okay. This one you could pair. You could pair this as an after dinner. With a I think with a dessert you could. I think it's strong enough for a lighter cigar. But if you're a whiskey fanatic, the whiskey notes are certainly there. But that agave, and you're still there. You can still smell it from the Blanco. Yeah. You think it's single faceted, and you're going, okay, well, it's good. That's good that we got that Ondas agave. But man, I got to tell you, each one of these brought that out. You don't lose the plant. This is really nice, Rick.
Yeah.
And none of it's cloying. None of it. In fact, even the Joven did not stick to your palate. Some Jovens, like Casa Noble, will do that. You pulled out your classic Casa Noble Joven, because to Rick that was Joven, and for me too, that was the classic Joven. In fact, they were the only ones making Jovens. It was almost like unheard of for anybody else to bother, right? Or they couldn't match it up. They couldn't. Okay, you guys win.
Yeah.
We can't compete.
So Mike and I think that we should all advocate for a return to the Joven category.
Yes.
And just completely forget the Cristalino.
Forget the Cristalinos. You don't need it. You don't need it. Some of them are doing it well. Okay, I will admit, Penta, I loved it. It was well done, but that's because the filtering is different. They're doing something different with their filtering, and if you can get the patent and do it right, instead of stripping all the character out and then putting additives back in to make it taste like something else, great. But I think the Joven category is ripe to bring back, especially now if we are in an añejo shortage. There's not enough aged spirits being aged in barrels. Then take what you got, blend it with your solid,
stretch it out,
stretch it out, man. Rather than inventing another category, why don't you work with what you got? Joven's a category. That's official. So, we're going to tell you. Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox now and just enjoy my if you're an oak head, you will not be disappointed. By the way, folks, here's what we know. NOM 1499, all the brands that come out of there, Corrido, Mi Genta, what else comes out of there? Let me just read it. Aqua Riva comes out of there. Penta Diamante that comes out of there. Baja Billy, that's another one that we've had here. That comes out of there. Three Amigos comes out of there. Who else? Let's see. We get one more here. Don Sueños. We've had that. 1921 classic. So this is a mid-sized maquiladora, but I understand that their equipment is top notch, which is why good reputable master distillers like to bring their clients to there to make a great brand. This is one of those. Okay.
The hired guns go there.
Yeah, the hired guns go there. The Magnificent Seven. Yul Brynner is still there shooting. This is beautiful. Brand of Promise nominee in the Reposado category. If you're an importer, if you're wanting something brand new, hot on the market that nobody else has got, this is your brand, okay? If you're going to Mexico, you see this in the store window, go get it. Bring it
Grab
home.
it. Bring it home.
You will not be sorry.
Grab two.
Yeah, bring two. Yeah, one to drink and one to hang on to because this is lovely. It's 13 Colonias. This is
which bottle will you keep next to you tonight, Mike?
I don't know. The one that I did enjoy that I had first was the Blanco, because it took a while for them to actually get me the other two expressions, and because they're not in the U.S. And I loved the Blanco. I thought, wow, I had to actually put it away, and I couldn't find it for weeks, and I had to find it for this tasting because I go, where did I put it? Because I knew I hid it somewhere. The other two I hadn't opened. So, I didn't know what to expect, and it'd been a while since I'd actually had it. I'm just as impressed as hell. This has got to be...
Now that I'm vaccinated, I want to call some friends over and pour some flights.
Yeah, you pour this one, yeah. But you have to be sparingly because, do a Joven. You're going to have to find General Gorostieta and you do your Joven flight. Oh! And each one is going to be different. Wait for me. I'll drive down. I'll drive down. Oh my God. We're having way too much fun, folks. That's because this has been a delightful experience. 13 Colonias. Elizabeth Palma, thank you so much for making this happen. You are on to something. Okay. Again, if you guys are importers or you know one or you're working for a distributor and you see this, you better get this in your portfolio, because if you don't, you'll be sorry. Okay, that's it. That's my endorsement. I'm done. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That guy out there is
Rick Levy, also in Southern California.
You have been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. Please subscribe. Watch us on Instagram. Watch us on Facebook. Watch us on IGTV. If you're watching us on Pinterest, hey, thank you. And you can follow us, everywhere. YouTube, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, give us a like, and whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.